Hey, what's up, everyone? Brad Chmielewski here with episode 164 of Shatter The Vain. This week, I have Sweatpants from Halcyon Elite joining me. It's a great companion app for Vainglory. They also have a Halcyon Gathering coming up, a Summer Invitational. The first one, the winner can take home $2,500. That's pretty awesome. TSM, Cloud9, Gangstars. There's so many teams playing. It's single elimination happening right after the challenge battles this weekend. It's gonna be a lot of Vainglory esports this weekend. So get ready. Make sure you clear your schedule. But we go over what's happening at the gathering, the invitational, the app, how we got into it, and what you can do with it. It's really cool. You should download it both for iOS and Android. There's a link in the description. Go to the website, hit it up. We also talk about the midsummer update that Super Evil Megacorp shared with Playoff Beard this past week or so. They talked about improvements to talents and just making sure the gameplay is just better experience overall. And then another new tease about 5v5. I think we're going to be talking about 5v5 until it's released. If there's not a week of Shatter the Vain where we don't talk about 5v5, I will be surprised. I will try to make that happen because I feel like I'm going to get sick of just speculating about what's happening, where it's going. But Playoff Beard did mention that he might have a interview or discussion coming up with Ciderhelm, so that should be awesome. Tried to get him on the podcast way back when, but he's not someone who jumps on camera these days or jumps on audio, so yeah. But that's exciting. I can't wait to see that. I got into Vainglory because Ciderhelm went over from creating League of Legends content, came over to the Super Evil Megacorp team, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. But let's do it. Let's jump into this interview. But before we do, let me just mention the Patreon page. Everyone that's over there supporting it, thank you very much. You're awesome. That's over at Shatter The Vain or patreon.com/Shatter The Vain. If you can support the show in any way, that would be awesome. I'm doing 164 episodes just because I love this game, kicking them out every week. All right, let's do it. Let's jump into 164.
Shatter the Vain.
This is the 164th episode of Shatter the Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and this is a podcast all about Vainglory. Every week, try to break down the news, game tips, gameplay, and hopefully we can all become better players together. And every week, bringing on people from the community, people that love this game, people that are building and creating really neat stuff. And this week, I have Sweatpants from Halcyon Elite joining me. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
For people that haven't heard of Halcyon Elite yet, do you want to give a little introduction about what it is? I'm sure they've seen the tweets lately. You've been a firestorm on Twitter lately.
Yeah, it's been a firestorm out there. So first of all, Halcyon Elite is a statistical companion app for Vainglory. We started out just providing basic statistics, and we look at trying to get more complex statistics. Complex statistics out there. But yeah, right now, basically that's just it. We're pairing it up with like a tournament series. So the tournament series, the first event will be this weekend.
Okay.
At the gathering.
Nice. Okay. So then I guess stepping back a little bit, how'd you get into Vainglory then, and then like how'd you transition to making this app, or why did you make this?
Well, I got into Vainglory in October of 2016.
Okay.
And then, because I used to play Dota 2, so I was looking for a game with less commitment, but the same look and feel and the same, basic strategy.
Yeah.
So I got hooked playing it a lot. But I have a software business in Austin, and so I can't play very much. I don't have a whole lot of time to play. Fair. And then when they announced the API, I was like, oh, this is a perfect time for me to do something in the community with the game I like. So that's kind of where it started. I had to recruit people who were better than me to help me
Okay.
build it, though. So that's where DZ came in. I met him at Worlds,
Okay.
and he helped me build the app and give me the statistics that needed to be in the app.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I played around with it a little bit, and it's really exciting because I know some of the other ones have gone away. Like there was Fame Glory for a while there, and just sometimes people pop up and they disappear that were doing statistic apps. So it's cool to see new ones come in, and you're really bringing like a new twist on it and doing these invitationals and gatherings. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I think we're starting with the gathering and the invitational just to test the waters. Um, my group of partners have experience in running tournament events. We've mainly been in running events like in youth sports, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, those type of events. But we have experience there, so we're just looking at transitioning our experience from that industry over to this one, especially with the software part of it. So that's kind of what my thought process was getting involved into a game like Vainglory early on.
So then, right now the app is only for iOS. Is there
No, it
plans?
has an Android.
Oh, there is an Android one. Okay, I thought it was only
Yep.
iOS. So I'm way behind then. Okay.
Yeah. We're developing an Ionic, which allows us to build simultaneously apps in both. So it's
Oh,
the
cool.
same system too. So
Oh, that's awesome. That makes it, I'm sure, very easy and helpful down the line. That's
yeah,
cool. Uh, so then, this invitational that's coming up at the gathering on the 22nd, what can people expect from it? Like I know it's single elimination, 16 teams, right?
yeah, 16 teams, single elimination. That's what it's going to be. Winner
Okay.
take all.
Winner take all. Okay. And you got like Cloud9 and TSM and Gangstars and top people were able to do this and come to it. So this is pretty awesome that you were able to get all these people on board.
Yeah, I had a lot of help. Shine, Make It Shine Designs. He's been helping me a lot, and his connections plus Nightwalker, she kind of helped me out. Blasting it on Discord. So getting those people invites and just saying, hey, here's what we're doing. Telling them that we're going to have a professional event, um, you know, online event anyway, so
Right.
it'll be
Yeah.
streamed correctly. Uh, that's just it's just I'm just glad that they were able to accept and come to the event.
Was it difficult to find a day that like I know Vainglory 8 there's the Challenger series or battles this week here this weekend, so it's hard to find a date that kind of worked in this chaos of esports scene.
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic. I didn't really realize challenge battles were going to be on that date until kind of a little bit too late. And I don't know if next weekend would have worked any better. Maybe it would have. But once I booked the venue, I kind of was stuck trying to make it work.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to start immediately after the challenge battles,
Okay.
hoping that we don't, what we did was we scheduled teams to play later on in the evening if they were in challenge battles to kind of give them a break. Um, so we're hoping that, we don't interfere too much with challenge battles at all.
Okay.
Teams that play there won't be affected.
Yeah, I don't know how you find a day that doesn't or a weekend that doesn't have Vainglory esports at this point.
Yeah, it's really tough. Like I don't know how we're gonna do it going forward, but if we'll just try to do the best we can. I think there's always a weekend between the splits that there's nothing going on.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I might be mistaken.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to shoot for that weekend going forward and try to do these, periodically throughout the year.
No, that's cool. Were you watching or are you up on like all the esports and the teams and the players? Do you even have time to keep
Yeah,
up with it?
I've been trying to keep up with it for the most part. I know. No, I've been following all the teams. I watch all the games on VIS and the VG8 when I get a chance on the week. I can't do it all weekend long, but I'll just at least I'll be checking it on my phone whenever I have service. So
Right, yeah, and it's almost easier like to watch any of the esports than actually like or play the game yourself because playing it, like you said, takes a commitment that as you start
yeah,
doing other things, just like gets away. But it's an easy thing to watch it and kind of just keep up with the world and what's happening. So yeah, I end up watching a lot more than I play these days.
Yeah, definitely watching. I like watching people that I know play. So it's really fun to watch.
Oh, so then what else is happening at the gathering besides the Invitational? Is it just kind of a regular meetup?
Yeah, well, so we're hoping that players will come and play before the event and watch the challenge battles. We're gonna have the challenge battles up on like a big projector while you're playing. You can watch that. We're gonna have some swag. A couple of sponsors are coming with T-shirts and hats and other stuff. We're gonna have food catered around 6 o'clock. So the first night, I think we're having barbecue, Texas barbecue. Can't go wrong.
Makes sense, yeah.
And then and then we don't know what we're gonna have for food on Sunday. I'm gonna take a poll. Whoever comes, gets to help me decide.
Okay, so there you go.
But we need people to RSVP. Right now, we have only about 20 or 30 RSVPs. We'd like to see that number, higher, because our capacity is 150. Okay. So it'd be awesome to see that many people show up.
Right, yeah. There was was there an Austin meetup not too long ago, or was there another Texas Vainglory meetup? Did you make it to any of them, or have you gone to anything besides Worlds?
Yeah, I went to London.
Oh.
And then I also there was this event at South by Southwest.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of a while ago.
Yeah, and there was Shin Kagan was there. Mm-hmm. So I met him there, but there wasn't a very big presence there at South by Southwest. Maybe we can change that next year.
Yeah, I guess they need to. It's not really so much of a gaming event. It's more of a technology and music.
Well, they had a whole gaming convention for 3 weekends there.
Oh, okay.
It was a pretty big deal. There were a ton of other games, and there was actually a Hearthstone tournament there.
Oh, nice.
Well,
yeah, I guess as some of that technology in the game space is kind of merging more, it's probably becoming a thing that they kind of want to showcase, especially with VR. I'm sure we'll start to see more of that down there.
I'm sure.
That's cool. So you've probably learned a few things from, I guess, Worlds, and just help to put down these events like a little better and kind of make them enjoyable for everyone there, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm just gonna try to do the best we can. We just put something together here pretty quickly, but we know how to do it professionally, and we've got all the right people involved.
Cool.
So I'm confident we can pull it off without too many issues. Try to limit the issues.
So the team's playing. Do you have one that you're rooting for? Or are you trying to be you don't want to pick someone unbiased? Yeah, unbiased.
Yeah. No, I secretly have a team that I'm rooting for, but I'm gonna remain, quiet on that.
Okay, there you go. That makes sense. So yeah, everyone get ready for that happening on the 22nd. Keep an eye out; they'll be streamed, and you can watch them. What time does it kick? Kicks off after challenge battles, so should be later in the evening, right?
Yeah, should be sometime around 5:30 or a little bit after.
Okay.
We're expecting it to be, and that's Pacific time.
Pacific time. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep a lookout for that. Well, if there's been a little bit of news this week, I'd love to jump in with that and get your thoughts on some of the things that's been happening.
Vainglory News.
First thing that we got to see this past week was the midsummer update. That playoff beard kind of ran down, letting us all know what's happening inside the layer. And I think the biggest thing is 5v5. I think 5v5 is just going to be the talk until it's released. And you coming from Dota and playing that, like, what are your thoughts on Vainglory moving to a 5v5 space?
I mean, unless they make things, the turrets, like, they're not so easy to take, then I feel like the game's going to take a really long time with 5v5.
Right.
You could just run into a lot of team fights that just continue to just happen over and over and over again. But I don't know. I don't see the games being short at all. But I think that's one issue they've probably been dealing with or working on.
Right. I think that's a reason a lot of people, like you said, you wanted something that didn't take as long. Like I've seen Dota games go like hours. And so in League of Legends, like they were getting up there into the hour range, and it's like I'd rather play 2 games of something else than do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that would just be really hard for tournaments. Think about it. I mean, you would to stream something like that where one game could take an hour. That would be really tough to do. So I think that they're trying to work on how to limit the time of the games in 5v5 and still make it fun where everybody felt like they participated in the win.
And battery life, like knowing you're playing on a MOBA, I can't even count the number of times I've been like running to find a cable because I don't usually charge while I'm playing because you get additional lag. Sometimes your device gets too hot, so I charge and then play, and then sometimes you're in a game and it's like 10%. Oh crap! This isn't gonna work out.
Yeah,
I can only imagine what's gonna happen with 5v5 if they don't figure out the time issue in there.
Yeah, one thing I do think that they'll get right is like the jungle and the lanes, how to make them different from other MOBAs. I think that they're gonna nail that. I think that they've worked on enough other games between the developers over there that they are going to come up with unique ways to incorporate Vainglory in the 3 different lanes and the 2 different jungles or whatever setup they decide. I think it's going to be unique.
Yeah, hopefully. I know a lot of people, there was some pushback on a map concept that they shared that looked really just like the League of Legends Summoner's Rift, just rotated 45 degrees. And so hopefully, like I know Heroes of the Storm, they've done a great job figuring out maps that are different and they're 5v5 and they don't feel like everything's a top, mid, and bottom lane concept.
Yeah, I think they'll figure it out for sure. They have enough experience.
So yeah, that was an update, and then about making the gameplay just buttery smooth and not forgetting about talents. I think this is a problem that Super Evil has created for themselves. They've built now 2 games and they're working on a 3rd game. They have brawl modes, they have the 3v3, and they're working on 5v5. If the team was not already busy enough, they have created just a monster for themselves to keep up with.
Yeah, if they're not busy enough already.
Yeah.
Maybe they need some help out there.
Yeah, there you go. I think they are hiring and building out into that space next door. They said recently. So looks like
that's a great place for young developers to go work. I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. And then I guess talking on the 5v5 mode, there was this post that Owens put out. He was an analyst for Gangstars a while ago. I think he's still a co-owner of Gangstars. He was talking about the game Honor of Kings. It's kind of like Mobile Legends or Strike of Kings here, and how it's huge in China. He's over in Shanghai right now, and he only sees people playing this Honor of Kings game, and no one he runs into plays Vainglory because, one, the game is only or mainly for iOS. Like, you don't see a ton of people playing Vainglory on Android devices because it takes a lot of processing power. So if you want to be serious, most people are playing on the iPad or something like that. So, and in China, the iPad's like a luxury device, and the Android phones are much cheaper because they're not, in some cases, not as powerful. So they're playing this Honor of Kings game, and it's destroying Vainglory over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard actually. I had an intern of mine return home to China, and I said, "Hey, do some research, find out if people are playing this game over there." And he brought me back a T-shirt from China, a Vainglory T-shirt. But he said no, everybody plays another game, and I'm guessing it was this game. He said everybody's playing this game on Android device. So
yeah, it's interesting. It's a really good post on Medium if anyone's looking to get some thoughts on it. He kind of points out this 5v5 may not be the answer to the problem that some people think it will be. I don't think anyone who left Vainglory isn't coming back because it's 5v5 now. That's not the reason that made them leave or stayed with the game, I think.
You don't think so?
No, I think if you left, you kind of got bored of it and you wanted something different. And what's 5v5 give you? It just gives you more options in the game to get mad at it. You probably left because you got mad and frustrated at the players.
I don't know. I don't find the players too bad.
Oh, I
think
don't. Yeah.
the players in Dota were way worse than the
But
players in this game. Like, by
is
far.
does 5v5 bring worse players? Like, does it just makes you have more people to get mad at?
I think 5v5 is a good esports route. I think with the 5v5 you can capture more market share in esports, and I think that is why they're doing it. In my mind, that's why they would do it.
Probably, yeah.
And I mean, talents cater more to the other side of their their player base. So I think they're doing a good job. If they can pull off both ends of that spectrum, then they're going to do just fine.
Oh yeah,
That's my theory. Especially long term, as touchscreens get bigger and the engine gets even better on bigger devices. I think that's where you'll see the competition go to eventually. I don't know. Just an idea.
I comment on his post that I wondered if 5v5 was always on the roadmap and they ended up doing 3v3 because of power of the device, like realizing like, hey, we just have to scale this back right now.
Yeah. Probably. I think device power and capability have a ton to do with what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
So as devices get better, bigger, the game will get better and bigger also.
Yeah, I think so. And just more heroes are in there makes 5v5 more of an option. It wasn't an option when we had 12 characters. So
yeah, more options, more characters, more lore.
Yeah,
all that.
So check out that post. And then we were talking about the challenge battles happening, and yeah, they're happening this weekend, and we know the teams that are facing off. So in VGL on the EU side is Team Queso, Salty Potatoes, and Calamity Reborn, and then on the VIS side is Immortals, Tribe, and Rogue, all former Vainglory 8 teams that have to prove themselves to get back in. And these should be some really interesting fights, and especially leading up to your tournament, like the outcome of those could just have I don't know, it could light some fire under people going into the invitational there.
It's definitely going to be a place to come and get a second chance if you didn't do so well in the challenge battles, come on over and try your luck at 2,500.
Yeah.
It's just another chance at playing some more and practicing, and that's what these guys need. They just need to play more against each other. It's really fun to watch, and they all get better every time they do it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, just seeing where it is every split and every season, it's like, wow, okay, yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, they're getting better and more creative with more characters, and I can't wait to see more double ban gameplay. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. This time the challenge battles are going to be this round robin kind of thing. So last time it was always one team picked another team, and then the outcome happened, and the winner took it, and the loser lost. This time they have to play all the teams, everyone in there, and the people with the most points, those are the ones that move on. And I think this is a really good way to make sure if you have a Vainglory 8 spot, you don't just instantly lose it every 3 weeks. Like it has to suck to be in those bottoms, and maybe you had like a bad first half of the split against some hard opponents. Maybe your first 3 games were against like TSM and Cloud9 and Gangstars, and then you're like, well, I pulled off like 2 points that now I have to.
Yeah. Well, that's just part of it. I mean, I think making it harder to get into the VG8 at this point would be, I don't know, counterproductive. But I don't think it's getting harder to make it in there. I think it's just making it more fair for the teams that are already in there to go up against more teams, not just this one team, and then they're making a whole weekend out of it. I think it's smart.
Yeah,
I would have done the same thing.
Any predictions on the NA side? Do you think any three of these VAS
I think Immortals, yeah, Immortals is definitely going to make it in, and I could see Tribe making it in also.
Yeah, I think Immortals is gonna do it. I think their roster and they're just like Sujay's coaching there just adds a lot.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, I think they're a top team for sure, and definitely Tribe. I think Tribe makes it in too, but I think Rogue stays out. That's just my theory.
Yeah, I think those guys are great, and they've been playing they play at top levels. They're just like I don't know, something's not working out. But yeah, I hope they do well. So
I think NRG will definitely be ready to play whoever they play against. So I think watch them come out pretty strong.
sure, yeah. And then we were talking about meetups. You're the Halcyon Gathering, and it seems like this summer is like a crazy, insane amount of meetups happening around Vainglory. Broken Myth posted an article that kind of ran down most of, if not all, the meetups that are happening in the next like month or so. It is crazy. It seemed like Vainglory or Super Evil kind of took the gas off going to all these like events like PAX and all these conferences, and the community just stepped up and be like, guess what? We're doing gatherings. We want to get together. We want to play. We want to see people come out. And so if you're not going to do it, we're going to do it.
Yeah, I hope it can get better and bigger. Definitely want to do my part down here in Texas. Like if next time South by Southwest Gaming Convention rolls around, I'm gonna have a big booth there, and we'll try to do some kind of tournament, just like they did a Hearthstone tournament. There's no reason there shouldn't be a Vainglory one there. There's enough players here in Austin, and enough people that want to travel here. It's a great city. So my goal is to bring more esports to Texas, however I can.
That's awesome. Yeah, I need to work with someone here in Chicago to get one off the ground. We had a couple meetups back in the day, but yeah, it's just I'm sure there's lots of people playing here. I just don't hear about it very often.
Well, just move to Austin.
I know. There we go. I should move for the weather at least.
Oh my gosh, man! Yeah, it's really hot right now. If anybody who's listening that's coming, don't bring a jacket, but bring plenty of water, and sunshades and sunscreen.
Okay.
It's really hot out there.
One that I will be going to, I'll be out in Portland and the end of July here in a couple weeks. So there's one happening out there, the Shatter the Gathering. That one should be pretty awesome. I know the Portland, the community out there, the Northwest Vainglory community has been putting on so many great events, and just seems like a meetup there is every 2 weeks. So really cool to see.
Yeah, Chun Chai is really putting it together up there in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
He's got a group of people that he plays with all the time, and they go up there. It's really awesome. I know Don's been a part of a couple of them.
Mm-hmm. Have you gotten any advice from him for your meetup? Has he been any help? Or?
Oh yeah, he was a huge help in the beginning. I was like, whoa, how do I at least tell people I'm doing this thing? He was like, oh, you need to post it here and here. I'm like, okay. So he got me hooked up on the Slack, and then talked to Wolf Hands, and Wolf Hands was like, okay, and then just started sharing it. And then it was a meetup, and then we decided, we're going to try to do a tournament, and then got Shine on, and the graphics really help tell people what's going on and get people's attention. So the video and the graphics just really help.
Yeah, cool.
And just getting it going.
Awesome. Well, look at this meetup list on Broken Myth and try to find one in your area. If you can drive out or travel or looking for a little vacation, like plan it around a meetup. Like, why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Well, the last thing before we wrap up here on this episode is a little forum static.
Forum static.
So, on the forums, I found this topic talking about the thanks ping, and I'm wondering if it's worse than the question mark ping. So, recently the question mark ping got removed. It looks like it might be coming back because it was in the 5v5 teases, but yeah, we'll see about that. This just topic is saying that I think the thanks ping is worse, and I might agree with that. I think the thanks adds no help to it except sarcasm.
Yeah, because you don't really have time to say thanks to somebody if they're all doing well. You only do it if they're did something you really didn't think was good.
Right,
Like, thanks.
and that's what the smiley face or the cheers is for. That's our thanks, really.
Yeah. Yes. They overcomplicate it with the thanks, but I mean, I think they'll realize that and how many times people use it.
Yeah, I think because I missed the question mark ping. I used it for the purpose that it was like, hey, what's happening here? This person's missing. I didn't use it for like maybe a few times, like, what are you doing? But
Yeah. I always used it for the guy who was just, going AFK, question mark, question mark.
or to say like, yeah, in their base, like, hey, is something happening there? Like, there's nothing. There's
Or
nothing.
question mark, should we do the Kraken?
Yeah. So this is just a form topic you should check out if you're interested, or add some 2 cents in there. Like, get them to get rid of the thanks ping and at least bring back the question, or like add missing instead of thanks.
Yeah, missing would be good.
Yeah.
That would be useful.
That'd be good. All right. Well, that's going to do it for episode 164. Sweatpants, thanks for joining me. This was great.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate
it very much.
Where can people find out more about Halcyon Elite and the Gathering Invitational happening this weekend?
So they can always go to the app, or they can go to halcyonelite.com, or the Twitter at Halcyon Elite.
Cool. I'll include links in the show notes and the descriptions. Everyone, check it out. Get ready for this tournament. It's gonna be a lot of Vainglory this weekend to watch. So make sure you clear your schedule.
Yep.
And then you can always follow Shatter The Vain on Twitter at Shatter The Vain. Website, shatterthevain.com. All the episodes get posted there. Links to iTunes, Stitcher, the YouTube version as well. And I'll be back next week with episode 165. Take care.
Let's get this over with.